Today, we're going to dive into a text that's basically a spiritual reality check. It gives us a framework for taking a really honest look at where we stand and, more importantly, how to move toward a more vibrant spiritual connection.
The source material really doesn't waste any time, does it? It kicks things off with this super direct question, forcing you to think about it right away. So, how is that connection? Is it strong and vibrant? Has it kind of faded over the years? Or is it, somewhere in the middle?
And that's really the first step on this whole journey. The text basically argues that before you can go anywhere, you have to get real with yourself and do an honest checkup of where you are right now. The key word here is unflinching. The source really suggests that if we don't know our true condition, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, we can't actually take a step toward anything better.
Okay, so after that initial self-check, the text moves on to a very specific diagnosis. It identifies a condition that it finds especially concerning, a state of spiritual apathy that it calls being lukewarm.
This gets its name from the Church of Laodicea in the book of Revelation. And what the text means by this is not, open rebellion against God. It's more of a comfortable, self-satisfied indifference. You're not passionately on fire, but you're not totally cold and rejecting either. You're just meh. And wow, the text does not mince words about how serious this is. This quote from the source is incredibly stark, right? It's designed to shock you, to make you realize just how problematic the state is considered to be. This comparison really lays out the core issue. According to the text, it's actually better to be cold, completely disconnected, than to be lukewarm. Now, why is that? Well, because the lukewarm state is built on this self-satisfaction that doesn't even see a problem. It doesn't recognize its own need for anything more.
And this is the danger. It's this huge gap between how we see ourselves and what the reality is, as described in Revelation 3:17. The perception is, I'm good, I'm rich, I don't need a thing. But the stated reality is, you're poor, blind, and in desperate need. But it's not all doom and gloom. A diagnosis is no good without a prescription. So the text doesn't just point out the problem. It offers a direct three-part remedy for the spiritual condition.
So what's the cure? The text offers this prescription of 3 symbolic items that Jesus advises the lukewarm to buy from him. It's gold tried in the fire, white garments, and eye salve.
Okay, so what in the world do those mean? They're metaphors, of course. They represent things the text says we just can't manufacture on our own. The gold stands for a real, genuine faith. The white garments are a symbol for Christ's righteousness that covers our spiritual poverty. And the eye salve? Well, that's for true spiritual insight, to finally see things clearly.
But here's the thing, this isn't just about going to a pharmacy and picking up a prescription. The text frames this whole remedy as an opening to something much deeper, a personal relationship. And this leads to this really famous invitation that completely shifts the tone. It goes from a pretty harsh warning to this gentle, incredibly personal appeal for connection and friendship.
The imagery here is so important. The source makes it clear this isn't someone breaking down your door. It's a patient knock. It's waiting for you to answer. It's an invitation to choose a close mutual relationship, one that's symbolized by sharing a meal together, talking, connecting.
So you've accepted the invitation. What's the long-term plan for spiritual wellness? Well, the text introduces this really powerful model for how to maintain a vibrant, healthy connection for the long haul.
And it does this through a living, breathing metaphor.
It pictures Jesus as the main vine, the absolute source of all life and nourishment. And you, the individual believer, you're the branch. Your health, your growth, your ability to produce anything good, it all depends 100% on staying connected to that vine.
So what does it actually look like to abide, to stay connected? The text lays out some real-world results. It means you start to bear fruit, which is really a changed character. It means you keep his commandments not out of duty, but out of love. It means you experience this deep, lasting joy, and ultimately you bring glory to the source of life, not to yourself.
But how does that connection actually work? How does the life get from the vine to the branch? The text offers one more beautiful metaphor for this. The Holy Spirit is described as the sap that flows from the vine into the branches. It's the very life force that makes growth possible and produces the fruit. Without that sap, the branch is just a dead stick.
And when you get right down to it, this whole model is anchored in love.
This verse from the Gospel of John is really the core command and the promise. The motivation, the goal, the whole point of abiding is to live inside that constant flow of divine love.
So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. It takes that whole metaphor and asks us to apply it directly to ourselves. It's a powerful way to think about our daily choices and the impact they have on our spiritual vitality, leaving us to consider what it really means for us to stay connected.